I remember a textbook I used in a psychology course back in university, and when I opened it, the sentences were very long and complicated and used a lot of big words, and it sounded very intelligent at first. I remember reading the first 3 pages and not understanding it, so I read them again, and then I read them again, and a couple more times, and finally, I figured out that they didn't say anything. So the purpose of writing is communication. It doesn't matter how smart your writing sounds, it matters what it says. Good writing is not complicated. Let your ideas be intelligent and your sentences clear. One element of good style is to write sentences that are simple and direct. Here are some strategies that you can use during proofreading and editing to revise wordy sentences and improve clarity. One strategy to reduce wordiness is to use the active voice, not the passive voice. For example, children with autism are thought to depend on routine. So this is the passive voice. The children with autism are the subject, but they didn't do anything. They're thought, but by whom? It doesn't say. This is wordy. In the active voice, the subject of the sentence, children with autism, are the ones who do the action. They're the ones who depend on routine. A second strategy for revising wordy sentences is to eliminate unnecessary instances of that, which, or who. So this is actually a big one for me. I use the word that a lot. So when I'm revising, I'm proofreading and editing, I go back and see which that's I can eliminate. For example, they told me that they were going to the mall. Now this isn't wrong, but the word that really isn't needed. They told me they were going to the mall is less wordy. A third strategy to reduce wordiness is to review sentences that begin with there are or is, this is or it is, to see if those words can be eliminated. And sometimes they can't, sometimes they're needed, but often they don't mean anything, and so they don't add anything to the sentence. For example, there is a car parked in front of the house. It's wordy. Why don't we just say, a car is parked in front of the house? A fourth strategy is to eliminate unneeded qualifiers or intensifiers, so words like very or extremely. Only keep them if they're important. For example, the dog was extremely happy to see us. The dog was happy to see us. Now this isn't wrong, and sometimes you want it to be there. I guess what I'm saying is, only say it if you really mean it. A fifth strategy is to eliminate redundancies, which are words that have the same meaning and are in the same sentence. For example, I got a parking ticket that I received on King Street. Well, got and received are the same thing. You don't need them both. How about just, I got a parking ticket on King Street? That's much better. A sixth strategy to reduce wordiness is to get rid of these cliche phrases that people use and replace them with the simpler words that they actually mean. For example, at the present time or at this point in time, they both mean now. How about because of the fact that? That means because. By means of. What's wrong with by? Due to the fact. Again, that means because. During the time that means while. For the purpose of. To. Has the capability to. Can. In the event that. If. On a frequent basis. Frequently. The reason is that. Because. Until such time as. Until. With regard to. About. They are simpler, more understandable, and shorter versions of all of these phrases.